Good morning all. We continue our study of the Bible. Today we are on Psalms 36 to 40. Psalm 36, how precious is your steadfast love. Reading from verse 1. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise, and to do good. Verse 7. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God! Therefore the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. Verse 8. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasure. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. Psalm 37. He will not forsake his saints. Reading from verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in Yahweh, and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in Yahweh, and he shall give thee the desire of thine heart. Verse 7. Rest in Yahweh, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for the evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. But the meek shall inherit the earth. So that was verse 11. Verse 16. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. Verse 21. The wicked borroweth, and payeth not it back. Verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh. He delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for Yahweh upholdeth him with his hand. Verse 25. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen a righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Verse 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of God is in his heart, none of his steps shall slide. Verse 39. But the salvation of the righteous is of Yahweh. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And Yahweh shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Verse 11 spoke of the meek shall inherit the earth, which is what Yeshua spoke of on the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5 verse 5. We shall see a few verses in these Psalms that is also spoken of Yeshua, by Yeshua. So for references to those, see Luke 24 verse 44. Verse 23 to 24 said that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Yahweh, and he delighteth in him. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast off. David was such a man, and we knew he fell, but with Bathsheba and killing her husband, but yet God did not utterly cut him off. Moving on to Psalm 38, reading a couple of verses. Do not forsake me, O Yahweh. Reading from verse 1. O Yahweh, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chastise me in thy hot displeasure. Verse 20 and 21. They also that render evil for good are mine adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. Forsake me not, O Yahweh, O my God. Be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Yahweh, my salvation. Psalm 39, Vanity of Life, reading from verse 1. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence, I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me, while I was musing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue. Yahweh, make me to know mine end, and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and my age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah. Verse 6. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heaped up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. Verse 13. O spare me, that I may recover strength before I go hence, and be no more. Last psalm for today, Psalm 40, my help and my deliverer, reading from verse 1. I waited patiently for Yahweh, and he inclined unto me, and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. Verse 6. Sacrifice and offerings thou didst not desire. Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings hast thou not required. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O God, yea, thy law is within my heart. Now said Luke 24 verse 44 says this, Yeshua speaking, and he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all the things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures. Yeshua saith unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. The last couple of verses of chapter of Psalm 40, verse 9 and 10. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips, O Yahweh. Thou knowest, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation. So who is speaking in those psalms, and of whom are they speaking? Many read the New Testament and do not understand it, nor Yeshua, though they think they do, because they are not learned in the Old Testament and the Psalms, as what Peter spoke of in 2 Peter chapters 3, 15 to 16, when he's speaking about those who misunderstood Paul's writings, saying they were unlearned in the Old Testament. Today, many think it is David speaking of himself throughout Psalms, and some others, similar to the eunuch in Acts chapters 8:34 with Philip. And it says, And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this, of himself or some other man? Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Yeshua. So such readers today separate the Old Testament from the New, the law of God from the teachings and purpose of the Messiah, grace from the need to be obedient to God's commandments. They are all one and the same. David was not speaking by nor of himself, but God prophesying through him, as he did in Isaiah chapters 53 verses 7 to 8, and 2 Samuel chapters 23 verse 2. That says, The Spirit of Yahweh spoke by me, and his word was in my tongue. An extract from a book titled Have I Got It Right, God Is. Yeshua was heading to his Father in heaven by doing his will, using the laws and commandments as his guide. Yeshua confirmed he had not come to destroy or change the law. In fact, he came to magnify it, show how it is to be kept, shine a light on it, and make it clear through clarification and example. Isaiah 42:21. Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He would magnify the law and make it honorable. So Yeshua was the living law. Scripture speaks of their attributes in the same way. For truth, see John 14:6 and Psalms 119 verse 142. I think we did that yesterday, where we saw Yeshua and the law spoke of them being the truth. Being holy, see Acts chapters 4 verse 27 and Romans 7:12. They're both perfect. See Hebrews chapters 5:9 and Psalm chapters 19 verse 7. They are both righteous. See 1 Corinthians chapters 1 verse 30 and Psalm 119 verse 172. They are both the light of the world or give light. See John chapters 8 verse 12 and Proverbs chapters 6:23. And they are both just, meaning fair. See Acts chapters 22 verse 14 and Romans 7 verse 12. They abide forever. So the law doesn't wasn't only for a period of time. See John chapters 8:35 and Psalms 111 verse 7-8. And lastly, all should be in the heart, just as we read, where in Psalm it said they've put the law in their hearts. Yeshua should also be in our hearts. See Ephesians chapters 3 verse 17 and Psalms chapters 40 verse 8. They both give freedom and have no condemnation but liberty. See Romans 8 verse 1 and James 2 verse 12. So if they're both the same, rejecting the law is rejecting Yeshua, and vice versa, which brings wrath. John chapters 3 verse 36 and Nehemiah chapters 13 verse 18. Yeshua was pure, in him was no sin. 1 John chapters 3 verse 4 defines sin as transgression of the law, which is going against Yeshua. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. Therefore, how can any Christian today, professing to follow Yeshua, think they are no longer under the law, under Yeshua's directives? They are one and the same. That they are now free to commit sin against God and man. Romans chapter 7 verse 7. Psalms 19 verse 7 says, the law of God is perfect, converting the soul. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandments of Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in the keeping of them there is great reward. As I said, see also Psalms 119 verses 18, verses 97 to 98, verse 115 and verse 165. In Psalms chapters 89 verse 34, it says, my covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that has gone out of my lips.
So, we have the converting the soul. We read earlier in the year that the soul is a person. When it said that 8 souls, Noah and his family got saved, and so on. The soul is a human being, a living person. So, you have to convert the soul. James chapters 5 verse 20 says, let him know that he which converteth the sinner, a human person, being a soul, from the error of his ways shall save a soul from death and shall hide a multitude of sins. So the sinner is the soul. We convert them through the law of Yahweh, which is perfect, converting the soul. Psalms 19 verse 17. So we cannot or should not say the law of God is no more. The commandments of God should not be kept. And all the feeble excuses that are taught today as traditions of men. Okay, let's continue.
That is God speaking. He's spoken his law and they will not be altered. So what is the reward or wages of sin? Breaking God's law? Going against Yeshua? Because they're both one and the same. Death, not rest. Romans chapter 6:23. The wages of sin is death. And death is separation from God. So if you wish to rest in Yeshua, who you may call Jesus, keep all of his and his Father's commandments. Now you can download this book, as I said, from www.forwardtoyahweh.com